Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for November 29th through December 5th, 2021. So before we get started, I'd just like to welcome everyone back and hope you had a relaxing and peaceful holiday week. And now that you are back, hopefully that you've had a chance to um, rest and to also come out a little bit stronger in terms of your personal spiritual development. And I'd also like to welcome anyone who is new to the Angel School community for the very first time as well. And so this week is sort of the first sort of a cusp week in terms of starting a new month and departing from the former month. So kind of have the energies of both months in this week. As a reminder, I'd like to just clarify that my half-hour angel reading that I've been offering for one full hour as a special offer will continue for the month of December. So if you have been planning to get a reading before the end of the year with me, then know that that's available to you. I will send you, like when you go to my webpage, which is theangelschool.com/services, you'll see that there's a link below this video in the description area. And when you go to that page, you just would click on the half-hour reading as it's normally posted. And within 24 hours on the first business day, I will send you a confirmation email noting the special offer. And it will also come with all the instructions about how to submit your availability to set up an appointment with me. It will also, let you know what the starting date is, etc. So if you just read it carefully and follow it, you will be able to set up your angel reading appointment through that email. Okay, so I will be starting back up with the daily card messages probably somewhere midweek. You will be seeing this recording before the holidays, before I leave for the holidays. And so as I will be taking that time to be with friends and loved ones, I will resume the daily card messages probably after I return. So and so it'll probably start for like Wednesday or something like that. Okay. So let's take a deep breath together. And the messages that I've been getting from the angels, even before getting started, rolling the camera, was rest. Okay, it's the word I'm seeing again now. So what I'd like for you to do is, and they're writing rest and they're writing soften. So they just want you to let everything go that may have transpired over the week, and let things simmer, let them integrate the lessons, that personal lessons that you may have experienced. There's so many things that, you had goals, and you're gonna be really stuffed because they're writing about food. So don't. They want you to release and let everything go. Don't anticipate or get. I feel like don't become anxious over symptoms that you might experience from being off of your schedule. They just want you to really breathe, and they want you to relax. They want you to rest. And I forgot the word that they said after that, but they just want you to just let yourself process, release, let things go. Be honest with yourself. Speak your truth, but just let things integrate. Okay? Don't try to force things or to keep issues going. So as you just center in your heart and center in all of the light that your heart chakra emits to you, and just allow it to expand as you breathe. And so there's a feeling, because they're showing me the trunk of the tree, and it looks like it's just like blown out in the middle. And you might be feeling like it bloated, or you might feel like you just blew your routines, your schedule, whatever makes you feel like in sync with the universe. And this is okay. It's okay to have these moments. Don't be hard on yourself, and make an issue about how you got off and track in some way. Is what they're showing me. And so this is sort of like some kind of after effects. And I'm not sure if it's just about the content of the previous week that you went through, but it's also about something on a bigger scale. That what the holiday weekend might have provoked fears, but also it brings, they keep writing the word confession, it brings out truth that needs to be exposed. And sometimes it might be that you're the only one that gets it. They wrote the word invisibility. So I don't know if this is something that you might feel when you're around other people, or it's something, it's almost like something with a relationship with yourself sometimes, in that it's when we have those moments, it's unfortunate that in those traumatic moments, or when we're really triggered, is when we really focus. Yeah. I mean, when something triggers us, we focus. We no longer drift, on this stream of consciousness, this vast stream of consciousness that has, enormous amounts of signals being transmitted and flowing through it. And it takes something to kind of wake you up, to make you to, focus in. And pain sort of does that, whether it's emotional or physical, suffering or pain. It makes you focus, and it makes you, and to take they're writing responsibility and assignment. So it's almost like the pain or the suffering, I don't know if they mean responsible as in to be held accountable, but it's sort of like it makes you responsible, and it draws your attention to your divine assignments, because it's then when you realize I'm missing something. And through that pain or that suffering, you search for it. You become more determined to overcome that. And so it would be nice if they're saying, if this was not, I don't know what, I'm just going to say it because I don't understand the sentence, but they wrote the word exception, and I feel like they would like it, that this would not be the exception for how you choose to evolve and grow. And that if you were to give more attention, not like, it's not like you always have to sit and block out time, for meditations or journaling, although this is part of the process. However you do it, it could be through drawing or singing or something creative. But the idea is that you remain aware, to your own spiritual development and to the content that comprises of what your purpose and your responsibility is here. And it's as simple as shining your light, blazing your light by living your best life. Meaning, and this does not mean have anything to do with things, but it's all about how much you can be aware of the joy that resides within you, how much you can be aware of the offering of that joy as having a profound influence on your reality and potentially the reality for others. It can inspire them in a similar way. And just for a moment, they were writing the word frequency. Just feel the frequency of your entire soul, your heart, your love, your joy, your peace, your confidence, your clear knowing, your profound, inspiring, and uplifting, unconditional beliefs. Your intuition, your guidance, those soothing, quiet ideas or nudges that keep propelling you forward in some direction. Be aware of the excitement that bursts from this and the passions that erupt and help you to give form, shape to these ideas that end up transpiring into these enormous gifts that you contribute to the bigger picture of life. And life creation is joy, it is love, it is peace, it is harmony. And you are a part of that. It is your body, just as much as your body is its own. And the expression of the inner light within all aspects of creation, which includes you, is radiating this potential. That's why it's so amazing when we go out in nature, we see the beautiful flowers of the mountains and the rivers, and we feel this truth and that connection, that profound truth. It relaxes us because we're in sync with who we truly are. And it's our purpose to bring our creations, our personal creations of our realities that we create into the fold of this natural environment. Now, this card jumped and fell on the floor, face up and right side up. And it was very clear and decisive. And the Queen of Swords here. So let's first take a look at the Archangel message that's coming through today. And it's the Archangel Haniel. And this card is, Archangel Haniel's name means the glory of God. Okay. And she's, works with the moon cycles and, your intuition. So I often think of this card as sort of the moon card in the tarot. And it might indicate cycles that you may want to pay attention to cycles you're going through emotionally, and as well as the celestial bodies, in particular the moon cycles that you might be working with in terms of manifestation. So there is, I'm seeing that word manifestation actually, and I remember now seeing it earlier quite often before I got the video started. It was another word that kept coming up. So there's an opportunity. They're writing for expression. So be open in this week to how your emotions might express themselves, or if you're feeling some kind of deficit or disconnect, really get in tune. And they're writing that this week is going to be about digesting. So it's kind of interesting because, we're coming from this holiday where we usually overeat, and there's digestion here that they're bringing up. But this is emotional digestion. This is something on a much larger scale. In terms of your spiritual development, we had all major arcana cards last week. So that's a huge healing process. A lot of different things that you're working through. So this is why they're really encouraging you this week to rest, to be aware, to be in harmony with the cycles that you're going through. So, your emotions can be sort of an indication of how the kind of self-care that you need. And I'm getting more, this has to do with your emotions, your intuition, and paying attention to how you are processing, digesting whatever is going on with you emotionally, and then to plan accordingly something and around self-care. So give yourself what you need in order for what you're processing to balance out. Okay? Now, since this card is already, over the Queen of Swords is all about, oh, and the candle just popped. So the Queen of Swords is all about clearing out, cleansing, clearing out your space, getting a clearer perspective, they're writing. So you may need the time this week to digest perspective. And this means that you may have to really be self-examine and reflect in a compassionate way, so that sometimes we give attention to things, and then we activate. So nothing is, again, spinning all the time and waiting to get you. And I'm talking about your psychological um, content, the subconscious stuff. It's not waiting there. You give it attention. You draw it up. You connect dots. And sometimes when we connect dots, we have to be careful what dots we're connecting, because it's like chemistry. Combining certain elements, could be explosive, and others could be. So you have to make sure that you are clearing certain things out of your mindset. Don't put certain combinations together to conflict your perspective even further. And you will know by the pain or suffering that you feel, and you'll know if you are helping and supporting and improving, if that suffering or pain begins to become alleviated. So don't hang on to things just because you're used to cycling them. Be willing to let certain things go. Don't keep, if something doesn't make you feel good, doesn't give you joy, then it's in your power to stop feeding it. Nobody else can do that for you. Even if the person is dangling the carrot in front of you that triggers you, it's still your choice to feed it with your attention and with your emotional content. So this is why it's important for you in this week to really express yourself. Use creative expression to help you to process and heal, transform, or transmute old patterns that only become active when you give voice, or you give it attention, you feed it. All right, let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. Oh, I laugh because it's like we have the Knight of Swords, and it's almost this, the way they look at each other, it's like they're going for each other, right? And I'm just going to go with this because it just struck me in that way. So don't get into it with people, okay? Don't always assume that people are attacking you or trying to provoke you. Again, because that perception feeds that particular content. I mean, it's like a drama. You know how you're sitting there watching a drama, and you just know, oh my God, don't do that, because now that's going to happen. So they want you to be more woke in your own experiences and pay attention. You know what's about to come, and we always know what's about to come, but we don't stop ourselves. And why is that? And then we want to say that we have these things in our shadows that we need to work out. They aren't there. That's what shadows are, illusions. Nothing is in your shadow. There is only light. But you can make a decision to reach inside of that shadow and pull out that ghost, if you will, and feed it, animate it. And then that drama cycle will play out as anticipated and expected. So be the exception in this week as you process and digest. Rest. Rest is not only just sleep, but they mean rest from your labors, rest from war or warring or conflict, rest rather than engage and in something that you know is going to create negativity for you. And then validate the shadow. So the shadow or ego, none of that is real. We, as extensions of the Creator, have the power to create whatever. And because we are in a dimension that has the spectrum, the polarities and duality, then it is our special privilege to be able to actually use something called a shadow. It is not something there for you to think of as evil, but it is these opposing forces that allows us to constantly create, whether we choose to struggle or to thrive. But diversity or contrast is how we navigate this physical life and navigate the fulfillment of our desires in our hearts. We navigate it. We navigate this unknownness, if you will, because we don't know what's coming the next moment. We don't know what choices we're going to make next in the future, the immediate future. We really don't know until we're in the moment and we allow ourselves to be triggered. That's why intention helps to level the playing field by giving you it's still in the unknown, but it gives you a general focus. So that if I say, today I want peace, well then today I focus on that intention. What would that look like for me? Before I act, and take that moment and that breath and imagine what that outcome might be, or the choice that might potentially lead to that and helping me fulfill that intention. But none of it is real until we decide. And so the Knight of Swords is maybe quick to jump in, but decisive. The Knight of Swords just knows what the truth it's pursuing, which would be like an intention, because that is the closest thing that I could put to, well, how do I, because a lot of us are like, follow our truth, follow your truth. Well, through intention, that truth becomes even clearer. And the Knight of Swords, I would imagine, always knows what his intention is, so that all of his decisions are rapidly accessible to him in any given moment. And that's what you need, to have a clear intention to help you to avoid those old patterns, those old cycles of suffering and pain. You don't have to keep tripping into them. If you set a clear intention. All right, let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. So we have the Three of Wands here. And again, after that clarity, after, really eliminating certain things that do not serve us in our actions and our behaviors and our choices, we're free to realize, to give birth to our dreams and our goals. And this is what I think this card is about. When we see this person standing out, looking out at the ocean and all that vastness in front of them, all the creation, they're looking at the imagination of creation. When we look out at the world in this way that the Creator made, and it reminds us of our potential and the responsibility that we have with invested in our own spiritual powers such as our creativity, right? So we can break those cycle, and we can start to implement and envision a new path. Okay? And so the first time I got one card, these cards are facing each other, but this card is looking away from all of that. Now, just sort of looking at this as a story without the structure of the tarot. You know, it looks like here these two are just going towards each other, but this person's staying away from all of that. They're in a different suit, in a different element, and they're just focused on what they're passionate about. And this is why we need to rest from our labors, rest from our patterns, our struggle. Give our pain and our suffering a break by stop giving it your attention. And focus on the vision that's within your soul. You may not know exactly what it is, but if you listen to what inspires you, if you notice when your heart jumps, and Archangel Sandalphon is writing his name across in front of me, so I'm going to get to him because I think he wants to do something with us. But when you do that, when you listen, don't wrestle, don't fight don't keep wrestling, struggling. And some of you may say, well, I don't struggle because I'm doing well. Yeah, but when you keep pushing, when you keep being hard on yourself, when you keep wrestling for something to happen, instead of allowing it to happen, instead of listening to the way that your heart wants to bring something about for you, and then listen to the environment around you that's percolating with stimulus or stimuli that is related to something you bond with, something that resonates with you, something that calls you. But then you got to trust it, and then you got to not question it, and just be and just do. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and tune in to Archangel Sandalphon. And Archangel Sandalphon's energy is this beautiful silver light, just sparkling silver. When you call upon him mentally, or just think about him now, you'll feel or see this energy all around you. And Archangel Sandalphon works with your Earth Star chakra. And actually, he's the archangel that I've been working with this week in this Archangel Oracle deck by Diana Cooper. So I already have it out. And I'll just place this here so you can see it. And Archangel Sandalphon helps you to tune in to your divine potential. And it says, other message says, bring the world into harmony. So we have to first tune into our divine potential. And so we're going to ask Archangel Sandalphon, and you may already feel it, but to place around you and all of your chakras this silver reflective fifth dimensional bubble. And then we're going to ask him to connect you with the true notes of your divine blueprint. It's going to tune you in to your divine blueprint, tune you in to your potential, help to rewire your perspective, your focus, you might even start to feel a lot of relaxation in your mind and your crown chakra as well. You might feel some sharp sort of pains, almost sort of like a nerve, as he just clears some things, some connections that are not healthy mentally for you. And he's also going to touch your Earth Star chakra and activate it with an ascension flame so that all of your 12 fifth dimensional chakras up to your stellar gateway can open to the vast light of Source. And you will likely feel the harmonization of your chakras in your hara line become very centered and grounded, like a clear, focused channel down into the earth, into hollow earth. Make you feel like you're standing a little bit taller all of a sudden, because Archangel Sandalphon is known as the tall angel as well, because his energy reaches from the center of the earth all the way up to Source. And just feel your frequency now. It was almost as if before you may have felt like there was a lot of different energy signals. It's almost like just going to a piano and just banging all the notes at once, just a lot of noise. And now it feels like unison or a clear harmony where all the notes are complements and create beauty. He's also the Archangel of music, and he takes our prayers, because of his tall energy, directly from us to God, in that sense, to Source. And maybe take a moment and offer a prayer to Archangel Sandalphon of something that you need to find attunement or alignment with, that needs healing and resolution, that you wish for Source to hold and to give clarity to, and to orchestrate and present the high frequency solution that from your struggle and fear and state of unrest you cannot find on your own. And also pray that he helps you to remain constantly in tune with Source and your own divine blueprint, so that you can see the signs of these opportunities all around you, within every choice that you make. It allows this to unfold for you. this over here. And so be it. All right, so I've already taken the card from the bottom of the deck. Let me make sure I count the numbers. The 8 of Swords here. So this is telling me that this week you really need to allow yourself to process. And my back of my neck is starting to have pain running through it. So I think you want to be flexible in terms of being open. Don't be so rigid in terms of your expectations or the outcomes you want, but be open to more possibilities, more solutions that you couldn't have imagined by yourself. So it's this sense of, feeling trapped, right? Feeling stuck. And this is why you need these, when you feed those things, you imprison your soul, and you imprison your mind, so that you can't make decisions, or that decisions come with a lot of fear, a lot of worry about risks and responsibilities and burdens. This is what happens to many people, why they can't take action that would actually help them, because the ego creates this sense of burden. And we're afraid that we can't take on more burden, or that we won't be effective enough. So in this week, allow yourself to process, be gentle with yourself. Don't trigger yourself into a trap. Don't trigger yourself into these situations where then you feel bad. That's the trap. And that's what will hold you back. And it takes the power out of your wings, you know what I mean, right? It just rips it away from you. The wind beneath your wings, to be kind of corny. You need to be compassionate, be awoke in your spiritual evolution and your healing process, so that you don't set traps for yourself, and so that you can stay in alignment, stay in tune with your divine blueprint, so that those choices are always sitting in front of you. It's like when we focus, when we're in tune with our divine blueprint, the menu that you get for the day shows all the opportunities instead of all of the suffering, instead of all of the struggle and the conflicts and the complications and the confusion. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and wish you a beautiful week, half first week of December. God bless you.